What's up, everyone? Okay, I'm streaming with a new camera here. I don't know if it looks good or not, but you can tell me. This is my first live stream since I've been back from Europe. Went to Sweden, went to Switzerland, had a great show in Stockholm. I got to interview Bjorn from ABBA. I got to meet Max Martin, the great songwriter-producer. And I've taken 2 weeks off, and it feels great being home. I can't see anyone in the chat here, but I know that you're there. And we're going to talk about some fun stuff today. September 28th at the Variety Playhouse in Atlanta. Going to be some real special things happening on that show. I'm going to have special guests. And if you haven't gotten your ticket yet, get your tickets. And then after that, New York City Gramercy Theater on October 17th. And then on October 28th in Berlin. That show's almost sold out in Berlin, so definitely get your tickets for that. The show in Stockholm sold out, which was amazing. Oh my God, it was so fun. Wow. Okay, so I was talking to Aaron, who's here on the chat here, if I could see the chat, but I can't see the chat. And we were talking about 80s songs and this particular chord that was in every big hit song that you just never find anymore. It's really weird, right? It was kind of the secret sauce of all the songwriters of the hit songs of the 80s. And so I gave him about probably 6 examples. And Aaron is 29, so he's like, he doesn't know, he knew a couple of the songs or so. But there were particular producers. The producer that the song we're going to talk about today, the producer that produced this, produced Christopher Cross's first record. Michael Omartian, who's a pianist, arranger, who I've never met, who I'd love to interview, actually. Lives in Nashville, and hopefully that'll happen at some point. He's one of the few people. He played on a lot of the Steely Dan records. But this particular chord is really the special sauce of these hit songs from this era. And this is a great power ballad that I thought was a good... I was trying to find examples where it uses them multiple times, and there's also a key change, and I was like, all right. And there's about 3 songs that came to mind, but this one I thought was a great example of this. Okay, so we're gonna play this song. Some of you that know 80s radio will definitely know this song. This was the #1 song. Check this out. Here. Okay, right here. So this is Peter Cetera and Amy Grant singing this song, Next Time I Fall. These first inversion major chords, they're all over the place. And it's really, when they get to the chorus, it's really the money chord in the chorus. But it's happened so many times already when it starts in the verse. And it gives the melody so much color instead of just playing regular root position chords. Check this out. So it goes right here. Then the verse. Here we go. There's 2 first inversion chords in a row. Then right here. Okay, and another one. So right there, it goes, understand. So it's going B flat major in first, there's B flat major, but in first inversion to E flat major in first inversion with a G in the bass. Understand. And then the next section, root position chords there, first inversions, and then going into the chorus, they use that A flat first inversion chord again. So they're all over the place here. These are the first inversion chords. This is D flat major in first inversion, E flat in first inversion, and then A flat first inversion, and then it goes to this E flat sus chord. It's really like D flat major with E flat in the bass. This was one of the most common chords in R&B, in R&B and pop music in the 80s. It just is all over the place. I mean, in the 70s too, Stevie Wonder songs, Steely Dan songs, every hit ballad in the 80s it's in. I mean, every hit song, up-tempo songs too. It's all over the place. But this, then it goes into the chorus, and then check this out. Next time I fall, right here. Okay, next time I fall in love. Right there, E flat over G. So we got B flat minor 7 to A flat major. I'm going to bring up my chart here so you can see it for the chorus. Whoops, hold on. There we go. Oh, it's not sized right now. I don't know why it looks like that. Hold on. Let me make it smaller here. Hold on. Let's see if I can do this here. Oh, you know what I did? I just have to go like this, I think. There we go. Okay, so here's the song. This is the track here. Let me move it up just a little bit so you can see it. Hold on. So you'll notice that when it goes to the chorus here. Okay. I don't know why. You know, this is the second time this happened. Forget about this. Okay. So the chorus. And then the second part of the chorus, let me play it. So then it goes. So if we're in the key of A flat major, we have A flat major is the 1 chord, 4 chord, 5 chord, 6 minor. So these other things here, this chord here is just the 4 chord in first inversion and the 5 chord in first inversion. So it's actually using really simple things, but those changes in the bass note are what makes it so interesting. That's where what actually strengthens the melody, because the melody is typically not singing those notes, the thirds of the chords there. They're singing other notes of the chord. So let's listen here. But that, when it hits that third chord of the chorus, right here. Right here. Oh! I love that. Da, 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 da. On this. Da, 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 da. That's an E flat add 9 chord. Love that sound. Beautiful sound, right? And it's outlining this chord here. Da, 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 da. And it just, if it was in root position, da, 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 it would be very boring, very bland. Listen to it again. Right here. And then this part right here. Okay, so this section here, this is what I call the post-chorus build. So it's going like, it goes to this, right here. right here. Right there. Next time I fall. Let's see if I do it up here. Fall in love. Sorry. Next time I fall in love, it will be with. It's the same chord progression. So D flat over F to F11, and then E over G sharp to F sharp over G sharp. And then it goes to this. Beautiful. That's all. Then inversions. Then modulation. Okay, this is amazing here. So the song modulates up a half step in the middle of the second verse. Okay, so it's going like a it's absolutely brilliant. Check this out. So weird. Right here. And then here. That is so good. So the fact that they've modulated up a half step is really brilliant in the middle of a verse. I don't know any song that does that. It's I don't know why they thought they probably, honestly, it's probably like, okay, we should do a modulation. Let's not do it in the normal spot. Well, let's do it in the middle of the verse so that the singer's voices, because Amy Grant's actually very low in her range, and Pete Cetera's got a very high voice. So they probably figured, okay, we want to finish the song in A major, and since their vocal tension for both of them is going to be more intense, a half step higher, they want to go up. That's why they did the modulation there. So the song actually lifts in the middle of that verse, right? I mean, it's actually really, really brilliant. But the way that they transitioned it is so seamless that you're like, wait a second, did it just change keys? Listen again. Here. Oh man. Then. Next time I fall in love, I'm no matter what to do. Next time I fall in love. The other thing that is so good about this are those keyboard lines that happen. They're the counter melodies to the melody. They happen where the melody breaks in the chorus. Listen to this. It's really this stuff, when I talk about this stuff, there's so much of the arrangement that's part of this. And, one of the things about the, why I teach ear training and I teach these different techniques for songwriters. So I added a chapter in my Beato book, when I came out with the Beato book, my virtual video course, I was like, because I made a video, chord progressions for songwriters, all right? And these are what we call borrowed chords, chords that come from other keys, or shows you how to use chords to either modulate or add interest to your chord progressions. You can have things like secondary dominant chords. You can have borrowed chords. You can have third related chords. And this is where you get these things like in where it's doing that build up, for example, in the end of the first chorus, right? It was like in love, the next time I fall in love, it will be with you. Those chords like that, right? Those inverted chords, a dominant 11th chords, but the relationships between them, being able to recognize them by ear. This is what my ear training course does. Quick plug. You can get all of my courses for $99, right? My ear training course, my Beato Book Interactive, my Quick Lessons Pro, which is a little bit more of an advanced guitar course, and my beginner guitar course. My beginner guitar course goes over some of these chords as well, right? To learn how to play these things. But these techniques that these songwriters are using are relevant for songs of any era. The Beatles use these things. The Rolling Stones use these things. The Who used them. Earth, Wind, and Fire used them. Stevie Wonder used them. These are tried and true techniques used by songwriters since really since the 60s, since music started to get starting to add chords where it wasn't just 1, 4, 5, and 6, where you started getting inverted chords, dominant chords in third inversion. You started seeing this stuff started becoming more commonplace, and by the 70s, it's in all genres of music, and this stuff is just especially in the 80s. Every hit ballad uses these things, right? It just does. So let's go back here and listen. I just want you to listen to the lines that happen when they go. Listen to the little keyboard line that happens. Check it out. So this is then. Going da 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 da, right? Then here, beautiful, and then it does this. Oh, so good. I think that's Dan Huff on guitar. So that even in the little lead up back to the final choruses, you have those inversions. It's going like this. Then. So you've got first inversion D chord, first inversion E chord, second inversion D chord. Okay, it's using the same this whole lead up here. So you got there to there. So you've got root position, first inversion major, second inversion major, and then it goes to the chorus. Right? It's just very simple, honestly, very simple chord progressions here, but it's beautiful. Then love that. Oh. I can think of probably I could come up with 10 songs right now that use this this first inversion major chord as number one songs from the 80s that use this in the hook as the main thing. Either the song starts on it, These Dreams by Heart. The beginning of the chorus starts on a first inversion major chord. I can't think of any other song that does it. Honestly, any of the David Foster productions, You're the Inspiration, that's almost like that's one of the most complex pop songs ever. That song is really complicated, right? With it does tons of inversions, tons of modulations. It's kind of like the song that I did, the most complex pop song of all time. So that's probably like the second or third most complex pop song of all time. I should do a breakdown of that. But these things, right? It's what's interesting about this is it takes simple progressions, right? 1, 4, 5, 6. There's one song. There's one chord that's borrowed in the verse when you're going like in the verse when it's in D flat. Right there, this B flat major over D chord. That B flat chord is not in the key of A flat. This chord is really the 5 of 5 chord. So it's a secondary dominant, but they're using it in first inversion once again, right? So it's a secondary chord. It's you could call it a borrowed chord. It's a secondary dominant chord. When I teach in my Beato Book Interactive, it's a video course. All my courses are video courses, or my ear training course has hundreds of ear training modules that train you to be able to hear this stuff and know when it's a first inversion chord or it's a dominant 11 chord, right? Or a major chord with a ninth in the root. But the first things that I teach in both that are outside what we call the diatonic chord progressions, the 7 chords in the major key, right? So if we're in the key of A flat major, you've got the 1 chord's A flat major, 2 chords B flat minor, C minor is the 3 chord, D flat major is the 4 chord, E flat major is the 5 chord, F minor is the 6 chord, and then G sharp diminished. I'm sorry, G diminished is the 7 chord. I'm playing G half diminished there because I was doing 7th chords. But those are the 7 diatonic chords in the key of A flat major. These are the chords that the first part of the song before it changes keys are using, and but it's not even using all those chords. It's basically using 1, 4, 5, and then 5 of 5. But it's using inversions of those chords, meaning it's different bass notes are in the root, right? You can have A flat major, then you could have A flat major with a third in the bass, right? Or with A flat major with a 5th in the bass. So you got root position, first inversion, second inversion of that chord, okay? Those are just ways to give your songs more interest. And when you're learning music theory, the first things you learn are to hear those diatonic chords. Oh, that's the 1 chord, that's the 4 chord, that's the 5. Oh, this song actually starts, when I was learning the song here, but when I was writing it down, I wrote it down here, right? I know you can't see it very well, but I wrote it down and I was just like, okay, it starts on D flat over F, E flat over G, then A flat major, right? So it's like here to the 1 chord, okay? But I'm thinking like, it's just 1, 4, it's just 4, 5, 1 with those first 2 chords are in first inversion. This ear training thing that I teach, whether it's the theory part or the ear training part, they both use the same thing. This is why you should learn these things. So you can pick these songs out by ear. Even if you're sitting here thinking, I'm not really a musician, but I'd like to understand a little bit more of what Rick is talking about. $99. That's all my courses. That's it. It's just $99. You get 4 courses. Click on the link there. It's in the description, or Aaron's pasting in. I can't see any of the comments. My comment thing is blank here. I haven't seen one comment. I don't know if people are using Super Chat or anything. Aaron can text. You know what? I'm going to actually open the thing here. I'm going to see if people are, it says there's 1,750 people on here. Okay, I'm looking. Okay, let's see here. Comments. Okay, I can see, oh my God, there's actually people on here. This is amazing. Okay. There we go. Look at that. So I literally haven't seen, I haven't been able to see anyone that's on here. The thing is blank here. So once again, to be able to figure these songs out when they're playing and to know there's a modulation. I played this for GL, who's working in the control room. He's hooking everything up. We did all the wiring. Anyone that saw my last video, all the wiring in the control room just about is complete, and he's testing everything. So we were just miking guitar amps up, and everything works. All the new patch bays work. And I played this song for GL, and I was like, you remember this song? And he says, oh, totally. And then, so he's listening to it, and he goes, oh, wow, that's weird. Changes key in the middle of the verse. Like, he immediately knows. You know why? Because GL has a great ear. And so I start playing along with it, and he goes, that just went up a half step, right? And I said, yes. And we were, and he said the same thing I said. He's like, that's really strange. I don't know any song that changes key in the middle of a verse, and it sounds so seamless. And it is, right? It's like, wow, that's amazing. And being able to figure this stuff out, even if you're just a novice, you can learn to hear these things, right? You start recognizing them. Because this song, for example, there's not too many songs other than 1, 4, 5, and 6. And it has these inversions, except for that little build-up section. That's a little bit unusual. But it's still using relatively the same language all the way through the song. So this is actually a perfect song for ear training to learn this stuff. So, like I said, you want to be able to figure these songs out by ear like that, you should check out my ear training course, my Beato Book Interactive. This will teach you the theory behind it. Ear training and music theory are the same thing. So both of these things go over the same information. But the first things that you learn are secondary dominants, dominant chords that are outside the key. And then you start learning about borrowed chords, third related chords, chords from minor keys, right? There's if you go to natural minor, melodic minor, harmonic minor, there's a different series of chords that go with those. And then you get these things that I call songs for chords for songwriters. 4 minor chords, 5 minor chords, right? If you're in the key of A flat major, that would be 5 minor chord would be E flat minor. Normally the 5 chord would be E flat major. And being able to recognize those where it's like, oh, wow, that's weird. That uses a 5 minor chord because you're recognizing the root movement of the bass, okay? So, anyways, this is, when I do my What Makes a Song Great breakdowns, this is all of this is, right? Or, I'll break the stuff down and I'll separate the instruments and I'll play the parts, but everything is based, whether it's these picking patterns or whatever of a song. It doesn't matter whether it's Metallica or the Beatles or it doesn't matter who it is. Stevie Wonder, the information is the same, okay? People just use things in different orders, okay? And the melodies, the melodies are all related in the same way. Even the rules of the melodies are the same. Hit songs use the same melodic information. And once you learn kind of what these formulas are, I wouldn't say it's easy to write them. It's difficult to write hit songs. It's really hard. And when I hung out with Max Martin, when I got to meet him in Stockholm, oh my God, what a great guy. And we talked about this. It was absolutely fascinating, and I hope to interview him in the future. But I talked to Bjorn from ABBA, talk about hit songs. That interview was so fascinating. I got to finish editing it, along with my other 15 interviews that I have unedited. or I actually have a lot of my videos, or a lot of my interviews are edited now, and I'll be putting them out here over the next few weeks. So, anyways, really psyched to be back. Let me know what you guys think about my new camera setup here. Like I said, I can't see any of the comments unless I look on the stream here, but $99 sale for all 4 of my courses. Variety Playhouse here in Atlanta. Get your tickets. Honestly, I got 3 live shows left. I don't think I'm doing any more live shows ever again. We'll talk about that later in the future and everything, but I love doing them. They're fun to do, but it's tough to make the time and everything with kids, Those of you with kids, you get it. Anyhow, you guys are amazing. Thank you so much. Great to see everybody back in here. I promise I won't take 2 weeks off. This is the longest break I've ever had on YouTube. I went 12 days or something like that without putting out a video on demand, they call it, VOD. And I didn't do a live stream. It's been 2 weeks since I did a live stream. So you guys are amazing. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you. Take care.